Rabbi Sai, we are holding in Menachos Daf Mem, and we're going to start with the following Zok De'ele Kegemore Tanu Rabbanon Sadim Sodim Betzitzis. What happens? Sadim Betzitzis, just to explain, Sadim Betzitzis talking about Inyan of Kilai. We know that the Gemara already mentioned it before, that in tzitzis you could wear kilaim, you could put kilaim, you could put semen with a pishtim. So the shaila is talking about sadim tzitzis. If you have a combination of wool and linen, b'chama poitrim ubisil mechayim. B'chama say you're potter. What do you mean potter? Where the Rishonim point out, the word potter should not be right. But b'chama say you do not put a tzitzis because you do not do kilaim, and bisil say you do. Again, interesting, because Allah Kadiv Basil, obviously, usually Basil, but Shama, look at Basil. So just leave it as a oral. But
what are we talking about? We're talking about baggage, sadin?
Sadim Mitzitzis always has to be, we're talking about, you have a linen clothing,
right?
And the Chutet Chelis is always going to be wool.
But they can be.
Is the question?
They can't, not Chelis. Chelis must be wool.
The Chelis has
yes.
To be wool. Okay.
So that's if I have a sadim.
But the question
if we're talking about a makfin, so you actually.
No, the question is, you put the chelis on the tzitzis.
But it's just torn.
Torn means you don't put it.
Maybe don't.
No, Rashi leaves 2 minutes completely.
But you get the linen tzitzis.
Completely. Which is interesting. Good. Why?
So you're saying that the Shama doesn't hold the best of the
so that's the shayla. So Rashi here, really, it's 2 explanations of Rashi. It's the way it's brought, the way it's presented here. It's a machlokes Rashi Taisus. Rashi learns in the first chapter that Beit Shammai disagree with the concept of Esadoi Chalosis. And they hold that we don't say Esadoi Chalosis. The problem is, as we'll see, I don't know, we'll see, though, Toys points out, we have a din of Smuchim. How do we know that the Esadoi Chalosis? Because it says the Isur of Shatnez, and then it says Din Tasalacha. Smuchim, one next to each other. And even in some madama that doesn't dash at smuchim, but he's dash at smuchim in Sefer Dvarim. That's at Sefer Dvarim. So the big shaila, what's shot? Why would Shabbos disagree with that? So it's a problem. That's a problem with this shot.
How would you have yibum?
What?
If you don't have Vesadachas, you don't have yibum.
Right. The question is smuchim. Smuchim.
Smuchim is better.
Oh, I said he don't dash at smuchim. So the shaila is comes right the pashim shot.
Is that Torah? The Torah talks about it. So
yeah, it's fairish. I'm not dashing smuchim, but Taisus and the Chumash, that's the second shah Rashi. That's not so clear. Is that they hold? Beit Shammai hold it's not the Raisa. The Raisa you could put, you could have kilayim, but it's the Rabbanon. We don't want people to go around with kilayim. You start going on with kilayim, so then you can always wear kilayim. So therefore, they didn't do kilayim. That's the two pshatim in here. Is what is the sheet of Beit Shammai? Beit Shammai hold there's no such thing. It's also midaraisa, or it's a din derabbanan. Says the Gemara, Omar Ablozo Rav Tzadok, Va'aloi kol hamatil tcheles b'Yushalayim eino elo min havatmim. Someone who puts tcheles in Yerushalayim, he's min havatmim. It's weird. It's not the right thing to do. Here we have 2 pshatim here in Rashi. I understand this Gemara. The first shot is that it's coming to say it's a question because it's something. To me means it's wrong. You're not supposed to do it. So it's a shayla on Bisilu. How Bisilu say it's mutter? Look, you shalayim, everybody's matmiya. The second shot Rashi is the opposite. They don't put chel shalayim. Ain't no matmiyim. It's not oisrim. It's not an isser to do it. People don't do it. Usually, but if you do it, you're fine. So it's the shailon b'shal b'sil. If you look at Rashi inside, the first Rashi is you see in the right side towards the end of the narrow lines. Matma is kol haroim. Everybody's like surprised. Shoyim kilayim ulavush ad b'sil poligablos. It's coming to argue about b'sil. What are you saying? It's matmim. You're not supposed to do that. Then if you go down, the next one is loshen acher. It's 4 lines down in the wider lines. That's a question. Meaning, it's a shayla on.
If the surah like it, then there's a chiyuv.
What?
It goes
No.
to
So shatu.
You can't have it in the middle.
Meaning, don't wear linen clothing. That's what they would do. Not that they would wear linen, not put in tzitzis. They would not go with linen and chelis. So make sure to go with a different baggage. That's a chulub shat. So akol matit chem shleim no matbim. Amar you can lama asu. So why the oyser? According to the first shot, the shaila is on Besilil, meaning we say ask a question Besilil. So he says, meaning we're saying, you see Ushalayim, they don't do it. So the answer is, you know why they didn't do it? The Fishayin Bekim. Meaning they're going to come and learn from here that Kilayim is mutar everywhere. According to the second shot, the Shaila is on Bit Shammai. And then according to the shot, it's Enechinavi. The Gemara now is telling us, that's the second shot of Rashi, that the Gemara now is telling us that according to Bit Shammai is not also Medoraisa. It's a Din Derabban. Shapiro and Abikim. In other words, this is where Rashi shifts to the second shot. To be honest, the next following few lines of the Gemara is a little needs beer. I don't have a full shot. We don't find this in other places. Meaning, throughout Shas, the Gemara says Xeris. Don't do this, not do this, not do this. The Gemara now comes that says Xera. I have solutions. You're thinking people can make mistakes? Here, I have solutions. Nobody's going to make a mistake. What's going to be the thing? 10 people should put tzitzis. They go out to the shuk. They're going to come and advertise that that's what you're supposed to do. They put linen, they put a linen clothing, you put tzitzis. Says the Gemara, there'll be even more pele. How can they're going to say 10 people going around with kilayim? Even more surprising. Says the Gemara, why are you coming darshin in a given Russia? Well, let me give a shear. A big shear, a big event, everybody comes together, and we'll teach everybody. Zeiro mishum kolo ilon. What is kolo ilon? Kolo ilon is the color that looks at chelis, and if you're going to come and put that on, you're going to say it's mutter, people are going to take something which is not chelis, and they're going to put it on because they're going to say, because of kilayim, and then it's not us. Then it's not mutter. You don't have a real chelis. So the more of a loya, so I don't understand. But we said in the previous daf that kilayim is mutter tzitzis, even the white could be kilayim. So here, what do I care if it's kilayim? Says the Gemara, kevan the efshar b'minom loy. If you could do it in the right way, you don't do it. If you can fulfill both, you do. Now, the Gemara is telling us here, this is very important choices over here. It sounds like he's arguing Rashi, but he says over here, we learned before you could have white made out of wool. Put it on a blanket which is linen. Why? Because once you say kilam is mutter, kilam is always mutter. So if so, what is the Gemara telling me now? Is the Gemara arguing before? Says no. Here the Gemara is talking about a case that I'm putting already tchelis on a linen blanket. So anyway, I'm doing shadness. So once I'm doing shadness for the tchelis, I can do shadness for the white as well. Mashenkin here, I'm not putting tchelis. Talk about you did kol ilon. If you kol ilon, so now I don't have that heter. So mainly I can't do kilayim. And that's halacha l'maisa today. We do not do kilayim. That's halacha. It's Rosh Hashanah. I can't come and say today, well, kilayim is mutar b'tzitzis. Kilayim is mutar b'tzitzis only if you have tchelis. If you don't have tchelis, kilayim is not mutar b'tzitzis. Says the Gemara, believe the call. So what do you say? You say promise kol ilon. Kol ilon gives the blue color, which is not tchelis. So just check it out. If that's your issue, people are going to make the mistake. Go check it out. If they do the testing, we're going to see later in the Gemara, there's a whole testing process. How do you figure out what is blue? What is the real blue? So figure it out. So the Gemara l'gzerim mishum te'imu. What?
To be by what?
The color.
I'm saying again, somebody's worn color, we're going to go to a city and check them out.
Yeah, and Rashi, the way Rashi says it, Rashi says, in other words, when you want to buy tchelis, you have to have a hechsher. Rashi says, Nitakiru Bon Shlikach Adom Tcheles Elken Vodka.
That's maybe in the shop.
In other words, you can't just wear Tcheles.
Can it be guys that somebody's gonna the merchants are selling chelis?
Yeah, it will be. You'll know. I need to have hechsher. I can't buy without a hechsher. Can't buy without a hechsher.
That's to be made in the shmada also, right?
Yeah, you have a lot of requirements you need to have. You have to have hechsher. You can't just buy tchelis for anybody. Says the Gemara, Elexeru Mishum Teimo. Teimo, we're gonna learn Beis Hashem. It's soon enough in base. They're going to tell us that when you do a testing, if the testing goes back into the big pot, it ruins the tchelis. We'll see later why. But basically, the testing doesn't have the same level of tchelis, and it ruins the whole thing. So here, the Gemara, I'll tell you the problem. The problem is you're going to start testing all the tchelis. By mistake, we'll take the testing portion, and that will go back into the big pot, and you ruin the tchelis. So I can't let you have tchelis. It's too complicated, basically. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, all these solutions, one could have asked any place in Shas. Any place you have a problem, let's just fix the problem. Okay, maybe because mitzvah tzitzis, it's a big mitzvah, so you want to try to correct it. Says the Gemara, why don't you write a tshuva? In other words, write letters, do a pirsum, let everybody know, and we'll give you the instructions. Rashi says, we'll explain to them what's the testing they have to do. Everything will be clear. Says the Gemara, I can't rely on these tshuvas. Says the Gemara, Hashtom with a novel base. It's a memo base. Hashtom chometz v'pesach. V'yom kippurim dekoris samchin adiski. I don't understand. You don't rely on letters? How do we know when is Pesach? We do it with letters. When we do Ibur Hashanah, we send letters to the Goyla. So Rabbi says, you should know we did Ibur Hashanah. What do you mean? We rely on the letters. Yom Kippurim, how do you do? Rely on letters. Can rely on letters. In other words, you put an ad in the paper, you figure it out. See, I said it, and they said it in Eretz Yisrael, the name of Rav Zeir, like I said. Shema Yikores Ikras Dino Yibetoich Gimel. Maybe the beged of tzitzis will be torn within 3. V'itferenu, and you'll tie it. It's some kind of an interesting scenario. You're gonna get torn. You're gonna put in their pishton. And you have a problem with tasel luminosity, which means what? Meaning the push up shot. That's a cause from Rashi.
What do you mean you're gonna put pishton on?
They're gonna tie it up with pishton and allow that knot. Look at Rashi. V'itferenu b'chuti pishton. You can allow the threads to go down. In other words, he's gonna sew back the beged with pishton and use that as tzitzis. Now you can't do. Why can't you do it? That's the limit also. If you can't do it, it becomes kilai.
Does that make it so complicated? It will rip, so it's a boosted tzitzis. And now you go and sew it with whatever you sew. Yeah. It starts with lemon also. You don't have to come on that you're introducing addition. Why do you have to come on to that? It's ripped.
Yeah.
Right? And right now they're boosted tzitzis.
Yeah.
You sew them together. It starts with lemon also. No.
I think it's no, because you say because the one in the corners. I hear.
But it's not tzitzis.
The tzitzis are hanging already, and you're going to fix the.
Right. I hear.
If they're sewn into the garments, that's through a hole, right?
Yeah, but the question is, we're really asking, why do you say that the tzitzis there and it's torn? So if I fix the thing, where's tassel also? Here, I have to check it out. So he says, "Sure, Rav Zeir Sadini." So Rav Zeir, when he heard that there's a chash, I can't allow people to wear kilayim because they will come to a problem. They will have kilayim in the wrong place. So Rav Zeir tore his beged. Rav Zeir, I have another example. Because of ksus laila. Because if I'm going to allow you to wear kilayim by beged, you'll come to wear the ksus laila. Ksus laila means...
He took off the tzitzis.
What?
He didn't rip.
He took it off, yeah. Sorry, right. Yeah, he moved. Yeah, I said the word, yeah. He took the tzitzis from the sadi. That's what he did. He took it, he removed the tzitzis from the sadi, yeah. So he says the Gemara also, ksus laila, pajamas. Do you wear tzitzis over there? The din is not. And in the problem is you're going to put in tzitzis in that case and you have a problem with kilayim. So you may come to put in the wrong beged. This here, the big machlek is Rashi, the Tam and the Rambam. When we say the ksus lailo, there's a tzitzis. What is ksus lailo? Rabbeinu Tam learns it's only beged that you wear in the night only. Only beged that you wear in the night. Meaning, if I have clothing that I'm wearing during the day, that I wear at night as well, is chayav tzitzis, even in the night. And not only that, you could say a bracha on the tzitzis at night, if it's beged shliyah. Only beged the miyuchad l'layla is platu. The route, and then
four-corner pajamas.
Four-corner, right? So it's according to Tais, it's a little more of a chashash rochik. What's a chashash?
The Yeshiva sleep in the frak.
The chashash rochik is that he's going to make a mistake. His pajamas, he's going to put tzitzis in it. Why should he do that? I don't know. The Rambam learns the beged yoyim that you're wearing at night is platu tzitzis. So the chashash is much clearer. The person who's wearing kilayim during the day, gevaldik. Come shkia, take out your tzitzis. Every single day you have to have a problem with kilayim. That's exer, which is a much greater exer. Chut Tosus was bothered by that because you have to find some. This is a scenario that happens every single day to everybody when he was wearing tzitzis, which is kilayim. Says the Gemara, see a similar concept. The Rova said something, and in Marava, the Rova said like him, he shall beg it the kanfeya shalor. So we have an abdomen to this is a beged or clothing made out of leather is not chayav tzitzis, because the din midoraisa is the beged or is not a beged. Is that for whatever reason? Got to be tumah, got to be meaning yonim. Beged or doesn't have a din of beged. It's a different. Yeah, could be. Yeah, is it there in tumah as well? I'm not sure which one is the main source. So he says like this. He says he shall beged the kafeh shalor. He has a beged, and the corners are made out of leather. So go back to the thing. Down here. So the din is that chayavis tzitzis, because the main beged is not or. He shall or v'kafeh shall beged. What happens if he is made out of the beged is made out of leather and the corners are made of beged? My time ikar beged bein. Always go based on the main part of the beged. He says the opposite. No, you go based on the corner. So the opposite. Okay. It's a more similar case to what Will was mentioning before. You have a 3-cornered tzitzis, talus. He put on each one a chutei tzitzis, and then he made a 4th corner. So before it became a beged, it was already a tzitzis. Tasel and also. May you ask one question? Chasidim Rishonim, Kivan Shorigu Bogimol, Hayu Matilim Lot Cheles. The minute they did even a little bit, now Rashi learned that what does it mean Orgut Cheles? The minute they did a very, very small size, 3 fingers, already put in tzitzis, even though it's not a full beged. Toysis learns of Pshat is that when they finished sewing the beged, they had the last part, before they got to the last part, that's when they put in already tzitzis. Meaning they did that tassel and also it's not finished yet. So which means they would do when according to Rashi, that's the answer of the Gemara. They would get to the last 3 fingers of the beged, so the beged is within 3 fingers of being finished. So the question of the Gemara was, did you start with the beged? It's already a problem. So no, the beged is already finished. Meaning you have the last 3 fingers. So basically, it's already a done deal. Do we say tassel and asri? For Omar of Zeiro, now here starts a big sugya. We'll go back to it on Shabbos. Let's just start the portion of Shai in the Gemara and we'll get back to that. For Omar of Zeiro, hitil lemutelis sheu. What is hitil lemutelis sheu? So Rashi learned there was already 4 tzitzis. There was a beged of 4 tzitzis. He went and put another 4 tzitzis. Another 4 strings. Right? Now, when you did the next 4, it was not tzitzis. Right? Because I already had tzitzis. I had 4 tzitzis on the 4 corners. He went and he put another 4 tzitzis, and then he removed the original ones. So you would say, the second one that's putting in here is not doing anything. until you don't remove the first. Right. Once you remove the first, Tasav Lo Menasui. That's what it says. Dealing with the Shero, you see there's no problem of Tasav Lo Menasui. So what do you mean? Of course, he's going to be chayav about Toisif. Whenever you add more things, you chayav about Toisif. So if you chayav about Toisif, it's a ma'aseh. So if he becomes asur b'tzibal Toisif, that means he's doing something. He's doing something. He's not going to Tasav Lo Menasui. Who said he had an intention of adding? Maybe he's just going to be vatal, meaning it goes based on his intention. About Toisif Leiko, my
he wanted to be mevatel the original form.
Right. Oh, right, because he says.
But the date,
he's canceling the first one.
Just saying I'm canceling.
Yeah.
It's
trouble. It was kavanah.
Maybe he wanted to exchange it. Maybe they were dirty or you were worn out.
Nobody left them on.
He wasn't wearing it.
What?
Maybe he was wearing it. He only had one baggage. Only had one baggage.
He's at what?
It got dirty. He put new tzitzis on there because he was still wearing it. He took off the old tzitzis.
If you add, you're over Isser.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, but he's not.
But he says that's to his kavanah. So he points out.
That's his kavanah to replace it right away. So it's
replace it. So the kavanah is to be without the one and use only one. Meaning, as Tois points out over here, in order to be chayv about Tois, you have to have kavanah. So you have no kavanah over here. So Gemara says that's the reason over here. That's the case. The Gemara says ends the Gemara question. I don't know why. In other words, they have the chura. So there is a ma'isa. There's a ma'isa, and the mele what? So the Gemara asks, do you have your tasav lo menasui? So says the Rashi says hadru kushlev duchto, meaning what is tasav lo menasui? Because when I did it, even though I have kavanah to be vatel, the ma'aseh I'm using one which is already there in order to start it. Unless you want to tell me that itself is canceling the first one. Mashmos over here is he's doing levituli means he's putting it on with the intention to cancel it, not to do it for the purpose of it. Yeah.
But Lamaisa that sits around on
but you have to have kavanah.
You have to have kavanah for what?
It's there.
Yeah.
You have to have a kavanah for what?
For Baal Toisif. To be able
I'm not doing this as Baal Toisif.
No, for Baal Toisif, you have kavanah.
I'm canceling. Yeah.
No, that you.
Yeah. Just see a few more lines over here. Says the Gemara, Omar, Rav Zero, Omar Matno, Omar Shmuel, Tchelis, Ein Bo Mishum Kilayim. V'afilu betalis p'tura. There's no kilayim, and you patur betalis. What does it mean? Maya betalis p'tura, meaning betalis you patur from kilayim. What is it talking about? He limited the leis b'shura. Maybe it means I don't need to have this. Even the small size is patur b'kilayim. It's like more about talis shakotim is kasaboy. You need to have a talis that a child can wear. It's large enough to cover a child. An adult is able to cover something. If it's too small, then it's chayv. If not, in an ain't a kotim is kasaboy rishuruboy. I'll be shagodo by yotz de'achari. Even though some people use it, pturo chenyan kilayim says even for kilayim. Maybe it's something to do with tzitzis. Every Isser Kilayim, you need to have a certain size. So more about it, not any right with Kilayim. There's no such thing, but Kilayim, even the smallest amount you have. The Ptur of Kilayim but tzitzis does not apply if it's too small. That's the case we just had. When it says, you're not chayav when you put in tzitzis onto tzitzis. So that's what we just spoke about. We just said it. He said one, and then he said the other. Which one is the one that he said? Rashi says one of them says the one that he said in the name of Shmuel. That's the Iker one, and then he repeated it from another direction. So that's the idea of Yitel Mutels. But he's a Shem on Shabbos. We'll go back into this big machlokes we're showing of what exactly the case of Yitel Lamutels. Just want to end because it's actually in yellow to our daf. The one spoke about Kol Elon. Just want to mention 2 seconds because I went into today. Is the Gabi the Inyan of Tchelis. We spoke about it a little bit. The whole discussion, you should wear Tchelis, now wear Tchelis. The Retziner said he found the Tchelis. Later they said that what he found was wrong, so he did Tchelis. And the Shaila, the big Shaila is, the Retziner himself said, even if you hold that I'm wrong, what do you care? Just wear the Tchelis. In the worst case, I'm wrong. So the later, the Chorin discussed it. And first of all, they want to say Rav Sternbuch has two chidushim about that. Sternbuch says either it could be Yovel Val Tosif. Why? Because you're putting it l'shem tzitzis. But if it's not, you're not. So you have to, if you want to do it, you have to do like it's not. If this is tchela, it's good. If not, you have to have it not. What? No, but it's strings l'shem tchelas. It's strings. Yeah.
Why is it Bal Tosif?
Because
you're wearing the string to be out to the bits of tzitzis, and you're happy you're wearing chelis.
Right, so he says
if it's not chelis, then I'm not.
So you have to say the, you have to say the if. You have to say the if.
Why?
And that's not like Tais over here. Because Charlotte about Tais can be over without kavanah.
Why
Tais brings over here.
You have 4 strings. Why is it Bal Tosif?
Because you're putting your 2 strings l'shem tchelas, which are not chelas.
You're not putting. I'm putting. Who says I'm putting in the strings?
Oh, very good. So that's so if you hold like Tais over here, that's about the good. Do you say about Tais? Do you have to say about Tais is little kavanah or not? So he's basically going with a sheet that holds with about Tais is no kavanah. So that kavanah, you put it chelas. My intention is I want to use it chelas. I didn't say it. Okay, but that's what you meant. That's one good. Then he adds another thing. So we have a concept.
Well, that's sheet also. If he holds like places, it's 2 strings. Then could, and the halacha is not like him. Then you Bal Tosif also.
Right. It could be an issue. So yeah, I'm saying when we're doing it that way, we don't pass it the other way. But here you're doing all else something. Then there's a big aside that's brought down in Reb Chaim himself. He brings it. Says, when do I say that it has to do with Hichos because I wasn't? When do I say that a suffix, I do something, you have Seker the Reis L'chumah. Seker the Reis L'chumah is only that I'm going to do it. And mainly, I'm kind of mitzvah. I don't know if I did a bracha because it wasn't or not. So I'll do the bracha again. If I didn't do it, I'm doing the mitzvah. I'm for sure doing the mitzvah. I'm not sure if I'm chayav or not. Here, I'm doing something which I'm not sure I'm doing the mitzvah. So I don't say suffix L'chumah over here. The Ma'aseh, as we mentioned, and they speak about it too. No, we don't have to do it. Ma'aseh, the Roiv Rubam of the Poiskim and G'dolim disagreed with this concept. And one of the tiniest of Yashiv brings in Krevetz Chuvas, and he says, came there at Zin, it says, I found the Tchelis. A few years later, someone told him that's not the Tchelis, the Tchelis something else. So, I mean, a guy says, I found the Tchelis. As long as it wasn't in Iskabel, you don't go. What?
Does it change with today's tchelis?
Yeah, there's 3 tchelis.
Right.
There's 3
too. I didn't know all the thing. There's 3 tchelis.
The 3. You should read.
So the same argument continues.
Yeah.
No.
So why the
first 2 are disproven.
No, so today.
Regina is disproven.
No,
he says today there's 3.
No, not 3.
Including the
So, no, there are Ziner, people were today, there were Ziner and number 3, not number 2.
Which the cuttlefish.
The
cuttlefish was the Kedushas lady.
Yeah. If you go to, they showed me the guys that came age this morning.
Wasn't the Kedushas lady?
What?
Disprove the cuttlefish.
You go